In Section 5, we're solving inequalities, and solving inequalities is a lot like solving equations. Here's a linear equation on the left and a linear inequality on the right. They're exactly the same except for the signs. This is an equals, this is a less than, and the steps for solving them are exactly the same. To solve the linear equation, we subtract 3 from both sides, we divide by 2, and we got our solution. Similarly, for the inequality, we subtract 3 from both sides, divide by 2, and we have our solution. So the steps are basically the same. There is one exception, and some of you will remember this. If we're going through the steps for solving this inequality, subtracting 3 from both sides, at this moment, when we divide both sides by -2, we have to reverse the direction of the inequality. Anytime you add or subtract, multiply or divide by a negative number, you reverse the direction. Now, to graph the inequality, we locate the number on the number line, -4 in this case. We shade the direction that the inequality is pointing. So there's the graph of the inequality. We also give the answer to inequalities in interval notation. Now, interval notation is best come up with from the graph. If you look at where the shading is, the number on the left side of the shading is -4. The number on the right, since it goes forever, is infinity. So you put the left and the right together, and then on the outside, parentheses mean it's not included. And so greater than without a line under it would have parentheses. Infinity always has parentheses on it. Here's an inequality to try. Steps are subtract 1 from both sides, subtract 7x from both sides, divide both sides by -4, and reverse the direction of the inequality. To draw the graph of that, we put a circle at 4, shade to the left. Here's a compound inequality. Notice there's a less than sign on the left and on the right, stuff in the middle. To get the x by itself in the middle, we would need to subtract 3. Well, if we subtract 3 from the middle, we've also got to do it on the left and on the right. We need to divide the middle by 2 to get the x by itself. We have to do that on the left and on the right. And that's our answer in inequality form. To draw the graph of that, we have an open circle at 4, solid dot at -1, and shading in between. In interval notation, we would say -1, 4. The number on the left, number on the right. The bracket on the left of the -1 means it has the equal sign on it. It is included. The parentheses on the 4, no equal sign, means it's not included. Now, to solve quadratic inequalities, we've got to do it a special way. We start off by assuming that it's an equation, solve the equation like we learned in the earlier section, and draw the number line. The 4 and the -2 split the number line into 3 regions. We want to test each region to see if it works. So testing this region with a number like -5, we see 27 less than 0 is not true, so we do not shade to the left of -2. We test a number in the region between -2 and 4, like 0. -8 is less than 0, so we do shade that region. We test a number in the other region, like 5, and it is not true, so we do not shade that. And again, the interval notation would look like this. inequality notation, interval notation. Now to solve the rational inequality, very similar to the quadratic, we need to take the top, set it equal to 0, take the bottom, set it equal to 0, and draw the number line. Locate the two numbers, 4 and -1, and then decide where to shade. Just like before, we pick a number in this region, test it. -2 minus 4, -2 plus 1 gives 6 less